We've nowhere to keep all these prisoners. Barely enough food to feed our own.
Some of the bannermen, particularly Roose Bolton, are of the opinion that prisoners are an encumbrance. This is not a world where they have great prison camps set up or something where they can send these guys. They don't have plastic cuffs or anything. I mean, it's actually quite difficult to feed and maintain a prisoner population. It'd be a hell of a lot easier to kill the commoners and ransom off the noble-born or torture them to get some intelligence.
In my family, we say, a naked man has few secrets. A flayed man, none.
He's kind of a Geneva Convention kind of a guy, Robb Stark.
My father outlawed flaying in the north.
We're not in the north.
What happens on the battlefield happens on the battlefield, and after the battle's done, there are codes of conduct that you follow.
We're not torturing them.
It's interesting to see the divergent reactions between him and his bannermen when they come upon Talissa, who is seeing after one of the Lannister wounded.
Surely one of our men needs your attention more than this cub.
Your men are not my men, my lord.
Put this in your mouth and lie down. You don't want to watch.
You see the distaste on the face of his bannerman, who thinks that this is a kind of a weak thing to do and a soft thing to do.
As much as Roose Bolton might seem to be this brutal ally, he does have a point, you know. I mean, he's, from his point of view, we're in this war to win it, you know, and if you want to win a war, you have to make some pretty horrible decisions.
The high road's very pretty, but you'll have a hard time marching your army down it.
What's that smell?
Dead people.
Part of this season is instrumental in carving out Arya's transformation from the lovable sort of moppet that she was in season 1. She finds her way into Harrenhal.
Where she starts to mutter the names of all the men and women she wants to kill who have wronged her family. And it becomes this kind of prayer for her, and it's something that's going to go on, because you have the sense that Arya's not going to sleep very well until she's avenged her father, and that's going to take some time.
You don't see fear on her face when she's looking at death. You see mounting rage that's taking root inside her. It's almost like it's tempering steel.
I think she's ready to kill somebody. I mean, she's not going to escape from Harrenhal by herself. There's just too many guards out there. If she's going to go down, you get the sense she's going to take at least one of them with her.
Cersei. Ill and Pain. The Hound.
Whose banner is that?
My own.
Suppose if we use the same one, the battle will be terribly confusing.
That scene is kind of the fulcrum of the seesaw. You know, it's like either they will come to some agreement and a great chapter of bloodshed and potential tearing apart of many, many lives will either be stopped there or will not be.
You should kneel before your brother. He's the Lord's chosen. Born amidst salt and smoke.
Born amidst salt and smoke. Is he a ham?
It's almost like they're two teenage boys fighting with each other, these two boys who never really liked each other. And so much of it comes down to their personal animosity.
Catelyn in that scene realizes the implications of the failing of this particular meeting and what it means for all of the kingdoms.
If you were sons of mine, I would knock your heads together and lock you in a bedchamber until you remembered that you were brothers.
Renly has a more, in some ways, a more enlightened view of what, and a more practical view of what it means to rule. And he's often pointed out to him that doesn't have the right to the throne because he's the younger brother.
It is strange to find you beside my brother, Lady Stark. Your husband was a supporter of my claim. Lord Eddard's integrity cost him his head. And you sit beside this pretender and chastise me.
And he points out something that should be obvious to anybody watching the show or invested in this story, which is that nobody really had the right to, Robert didn't have the right to the throne, and the Targaryens didn't have the right to the throne, and the power ultimately resides in the hands of the people who seize it.
Look across those fields, brother. Can you see all those banners?
You think a few bolts of cloth will make you king?
No. The men holding those bolts of cloth will make me king.
He's saying, people love me. I have 100,000 men behind me, which dwarfs the size of your army. I would make a better ruler than you, which is unquestionably true. I mean, Stannis would be a terrible king, most likely, because he's just lacks a feeling for the common humanity over which he's supposed to rule.
We shall see, Renly. Come the dawn, we shall see.
Look to your sins, Lord Renly. The night is dark and full of terrors.